First of all, I should have started how excited we are to be on Amazon. I guess I wouldn't have predicted that my first interview ever on Amazon would be about sports betting.
You couldn't have predicted that your very first interview on Amazon would be about sports betting? Even without the ongoing gambling scandal, you couldn't have predicted that you would be talking about sports betting? I am incredibly confused by this admission from Adam Silver because for the last few years, the NBA has been shoving gambling in our face. Hey there, fans, it's me, your bookie. The New Orleans Pelicans have 3 games this week. How many games will Zion Williamson play? We have set the over-under at half a game. Get your bet in now at youwilllose.com. I guess Adam Silver thinks we're stupid. For the last few days, Adam Silver has been running around pretending to be shocked. He's pretending to be surprised that a gambling scandal happened in his league. Well, golly gee, I'm shocked and dismayed. How could this be happening? Adam Silver can pretend to be surprised all he wants, but Uncle KC ain't buying it. You know, I was listening to Shannon Sharp earlier today. Hey, it's me, Shay Shay. My baby Chew is very sick right now. We are hoping that she doesn't have pancreatitis, which can be deadly for Yorkies. So if you pray, please pray for Chew. I brought her back to the doctor earlier this morning, and as I was waiting, I was listening to Uncle Shay. He was talking about how it took him 57 years to realize that you will never find the perfect woman. It took him 57 years to realize that you'll never have the perfect relationship. The key is finding a woman with enough attractive qualities so you're so attracted to her, it makes you overlook or just not care about her imperfections. Now, obviously, there are certain imperfections that just can't be overlooked. For example, if the woman aspires to be one of the yentas on The View, that is no bueno. If she is missing teeth, or for my ladies out there, if a man doesn't have a job and even worse, he's unwilling to get one, those are imperfections that can't be overlooked. Like I say all the time, business relationships are similar to personal relationships. If you have been following the channel for a while, then you already know that Adam Silver is not the perfect commissioner. I have been highly critical of Adam Silver, but at the same time, there have been some positives in his ongoing destruction of the NBA. Adam Silver is one hell of a negotiator. Last year, this dude pulled off the greatest heist in American history. What Adam Silver accomplished last year, it was bigger than Henry Hill and Jimmy Burke stealing millions from Lufthansa back in the 1970s. Adam Silver swindled the networks. He swindled the streaming services out of billions of dollars. This dude managed to convince them that the NBA was worth $76 billion. When you think about it, this is quite the accomplishment. The networks knew that TNT was losing millions every year with the NBA. More than likely, same with ESPN. But even with that being the case, Adam Silver convinced networks like NBC that the NBA was worth the risk. Last year during the playoffs, Adam Silver told NBA officials to let the players play. He didn't want officiating to be the determining factor in deciding games in the playoffs. In terms of ratings, the NBA seems to be bouncing back. So Adam Silver has been positive in some ways. However, one of the biggest weaknesses is his inability to stand up to players. One of his biggest weaknesses is a complete lack of discipline. And that weakness, it could eventually be the reason that Adam Silver loses his job. Make sure to like and subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter at KC_BTL84. Link to the second channel in the description below. Yesterday on the second channel, talked about the NBA's impressive ratings for their debut on NBC. It was the most watched opening night in the last 15 years. I explain why it's highly unlikely that the NBA will be able to maintain that momentum. So if you haven't already, click the link in the description below, subscribe to the second channel. Last night, the NBA debuted on Amazon Prime. During the second quarter of the game between the Celtics and Knicks, Adam Silver spoke with the crew from Amazon. Naturally, the very first question that was asked was about the gambling scandal that could potentially destroy the league. I expected Adam Silver to be vague in his response. I expected Adam Silver to not be completely honest. But what I didn't appreciate was Adam Silver insulting my intelligence by attempting to polish the turd. Like I told you guys the other day, the NBA is partially responsible for this scandal. You can't embrace gambling, then pretend to be surprised when coaches and players are busted gambling. It's the equivalent of people living in these woke cities who voted for the legalization of drugs. It's the equivalent to them complaining about crime suddenly being out of control. What did you expect to happen when you endorsed the weed? What did you expect to happen when you told every drug addict in the country that drug use was now acceptable in your city? Drugs and crime always go together because it costs money to do drugs, and drug addicts have a difficult time maintaining a job because they're always intoxicated. It's the same with gambling. Oftentimes, gambling is correlated with corruption, which is exactly what happened to the NBA. Last night, Adam Silver wore his arm out as he was polishing this turd. He was trying to deflect blame. He was trying to distance the NBA from being responsible for this scandal. Watch it for yourself.
And Terry Rozier was allowed to keep playing after an NBA investigation ruled that there was no NBA rules violated. What do you make of that decision now?
We frankly couldn't find anything. Terry at the time cooperated. He gave the league office his phone. He sat down for an interview. And we ultimately concluded that there was insufficient evidence, despite that aberrational behavior, to move forward. We then worked directly with the law enforcement, as they said at the press conference, that the league has been cooperating. And so that was obviously over 2 years ago. So the federal government has subpoena power, can threaten to put people in jail, can do all kinds of things that a league office can't do. So we've been working with them since then. And of course, what they announced yesterday was an indictment. So 2.5 years later, he still hasn't been convicted of anything.
For starters, I don't know who the young lady was who was interviewing Adam Silver, but credit to her for being willing to ask the tough question that needed to be asked. She was willing to ask Adam Silver about the NBA investigating Terry Rozier 2 years ago. Of course, Adam Silver, he was bobbing and weaving. He was doing his best to deflect blame. Oh, we looked into it, but we couldn't find any wrongdoing. We're not as powerful as the federal government. Plus, this was 2.5 years ago. My friend Terry hasn't even been convicted. There's nothing to see here. By the way, hasn't the start of our regular season been great? I ain't buying it. I am not convinced that the NBA was unable to find wrongdoing while investigating Terry Rozier. When you watch clips of some of the games in question, it's obvious Terry Rozier is throwing the game. My guess is the NBA did everything in their power to cover this up because they knew a gambling scandal of this magnitude, it could destroy the integrity of the league. If that is the case, Adam Silver is in deep shit. Headline at the New York Post. NBA is risking billions in legal expenses and brand damage over betting scandal. According to the New York Post, NBA insiders are extremely concerned about the immediate future of the league. Obviously, gamblers are furious. They're pissed off. One source told the New York Post a lawsuit against the NBA, it could be filed as early as next week. And when I say lawsuit, I'm talking about a lawsuit valued at hundreds of millions of dollars. Between the lawsuit and the tarnished integrity of the league, the NBA could be looking at billions of dollars in losses. Now, who is responsible for paying these expenses? NBA owners. Who works for NBA owners? Who reports directly to NBA owners? Adam Silver. If I'm the owner of an NBA team, the first question I'm asking, how did you allow Terry Rozier to continue playing? Why was he allowed to keep playing while he was under investigation for fixing games? Why wasn't he suspended? Why wasn't he kicked out of the league? Hell, why was absolutely nothing done about this? You see, if Adam Silver had done something with Terry Rozier, at least the NBA would have a way to defend itself. At least they could say, we did something about it. But now, since Adam Silver didn't do a damn thing, it looks like a cover-up. And whether the NBA covered this up or not, it really doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is you have to ask the question. You know, this has been a weakness for Adam Silver throughout his time as commissioner. Adam Silver is weak when it comes to disciplining and punishing players. Sure, he will punish scrubs like Jonte Porter. He'll kick them out of the league because he knows they're powerless. But when it comes to standing against powerful players, Adam Silver folds. And who gave NBA players the power to begin with? Adam Silver. It's going to be interesting to see what happens over the next few months. This could end very bad for Adam Silver. But KC, he's got the support of NBA owners. They think Adam Silver's a nice guy. Yeah, it's amazing how quickly your perception of someone can change when they cost you billions of dollars. And look. I'm not saying Adam Silver is responsible for the actions of Terry Rozier, but 2.5 years ago, he had a chance to do something about it, and Adam Silver didn't do a damn thing. It will be interesting to see if that neglect, it will be interesting to see if that inaction has devastating consequences for Adam Silver's career. Sound off in the comments below. I'll see you guys tomorrow.